Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's recipe we're going to be making some hot cross buns and I'm going to show you both ways, with the fruit and without the fruit. So if you'd like to see how to make this delicious bun, keep watching. Today's episode is being sponsored by AMCO with brands such as Naturally Almond, McCallum's, Frank's, French's, Jamaican Mountain Peak, Caribbean Dreams, Bragg and Lucima. To make this, I'm going to be using Naturally Almond vanilla almond milk for this. Feel free to use whatever you have on hand. So I'm going to add in 1 cup of the milk along with 1 packet of Caribbean Dreams instant turmeric tea. This is going to give it a beautiful color. Plus it has ginger in here. So the flavor of this bun is going to be out of this world delicious. Give this a mix and then add in about a tablespoon of sugar. In goes your instant yeast. Mix that to incorporate and then we'll set that aside, let it bloom. To your dry ingredients, I have my flour. You're going to add the rest of the sugar. In goes a pinch of salt. I'm going to grate in some fresh nutmeg, and if you didn't have fresh nutmeg you can use the powdered nutmeg that's already been grated. I love using fresh nutmeg. In goes ground cinnamon. And we're just going to give this a mix. Want to mix it properly, and I can smell those spices. Now look at my yeast mixture. It's bloomed nicely. So to this I'm going to add in 1 large egg. If you're using a small egg, use 2. I'm going to go in with my melted butter and the vanilla essence or mixed essence or almond essence, whatever you have on hand. Mix well to combine. And the next step is adding the wet mixture to the dry mixture. Now I'm going to add half of the wet mixture. You don't want to add all at once. And I'm going to be using my Danish dough hook to bring this together. It's so easy to use when you have to work with flour. So if you're interested in owning a Danish dough hook, I'll leave the link for it down below in the description. I added in the rest of the milk mixture and I put in all because I can tell that it needed the rest of it. Now if your dough is very soft, I suggest adding it in small amounts until it comes together and it looks shaggy like this. Once it looks shaggy, I'm going to divide the dough into 2. Set that first set aside, and to this next set we're going to add in our chopped raisins, cranberries, mixed peel, dried fruits, whatever you want to use here. This is when you're going to add it in, and you're just going to knead that into the dough until the dough is nice and smooth and supple. Mix and knead well, and once it comes together you're just going to cover this and set it aside. Now for the rest of the dough that we left, this is going to be plain, so I'm just going to give this a quick knead until it's nice and soft and smooth. Use a little dry flour as needed and knead until it's very smooth. Then form it into a ball. You see how it went from looking rough to smooth? This is what you want. And now I'm going to place this into a bowl and cover it and allow it to proof. Now my trick to getting things to proof really quickly is either preheating your oven or place these items in your oven with a big bowl or pot of boiling hot water, and it's going to help your dough to proof so quickly. So instead of half an hour, it probably would take about 15 minutes. Once the dough is finished proofing, we're going to go ahead and deflate and break these into 6 dough balls each. You can make them smaller if you wanted to make baby ones, or you can make them bigger if you wanted to make them huge. So I would say my dough balls would be about 3 to 4 ounces in weight, the size of a large egg. So I'm breaking the 6 dough balls here. This is the one with the fruit. And then I'll break the plain dough balls next. Make sure you put it on a greased tray. It's very important that you do that because it will stick if you don't. Deflate the air from the next set, and then we're going to break this into 6 dough balls, as I said. Now I like my buns to touch when they're proofing because it tends to make for a nice soft side. I don't like them to be individual, so if you want them to not touch, put them, space them far apart. As you can see, this is what I like to do. I like them to touch. And all we have to do is bake these at 350 degrees between 20 to 30 minutes. Some ovens are a little bit hotter than usual, so you would want to keep an eye on it. Now to make this sugar syrup, we're going to mix a third of sugar and a third of water on your stove until it's thickened and it looks like a thick syrup. And then we'll set that aside and allow it to cool down. Once the buns are done, you see how beautiful they look? That turmeric gave it a really nice, beautiful yellow color. We're going to glaze the buns with that sugar syrup that we made. And we're going to allow these to cool down completely before we put the crust on them. I'm just going to pull one aside so you can see. You see that soft spot where both of the buns touch? I love when it's like that. It's so airy and so spongy, and it smells heavenly. Now to make the crosses, we're going to be using powdered sugar or icing sugar or confectioner's sugar. It's the same thing. Add in a little drop, like 1 teaspoon of that almond milk or any other milk you have on hand, and mix. And if you need more, you add a little drop and mix. You want this to be the consistency of toothpaste. If it's too soft, it's going to run right off of the bun. So you want that consistency to be like toothpaste, so when you pipe it, it will stay on the bun. You can see here how it looks. It can fall just so evenly, but if it's too wet and it's too runny, add some more icing sugar and thicken that. Now we're going to pipe it onto the buns once they're completely cooled. My son thoroughly enjoyed these buns. It was spiced to perfection, and if you like it heavily spiced, you can add more spices to it. You can even add a little bit of molasses to it. It goes really great, and once you break into it, it's so airy, so light, so delicious, and the fruits are speckled throughout. So I hope you guys enjoyed today's recipe. Thank you to AMCO for sponsoring today's episode. Be sure to find all of the ingredients used in today's video at your leading supermarkets in Trinidad and Tobago. My go-to supermarket for shopping when in Trinidad is at Extra Foods in Chaguanas. Here you can find everything you need. Thank you all for watching, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye!